Hey everyone, this is Mike, and this is my first barber tutorial video. There will be a lot more to come, so bear with me as I'm still learning how to make everything work. So this is the first step, is you'll be balding out your bottom line on the hair. And I usually use my trimmers, and right now I'm using a 5-0 detachable blade on my cordless clippers. So now this is my second step. What I'm doing is I have a number 2 on the detachable blade clippers, and I'm just cutting down the bulk. TJ doesn't really have any kind of pattern for his hair at this point, so I'm just knocking it down with a 2, and then later I'll go back over it with the grain with a number 1 on my wall clippers. I don't know why, but TJ always plays with his hair. As you can see, he's just looking at it and playing with it like he's never seen hair before. I don't know, but that's what he always does every time he gets a haircut. Now I'm combing the hair out to get it into the pattern that I want it to go to, brushing everything straight. And I'll be grabbing my clippers with an open lever, no guard, and I'm gonna make my first guideline. You wanna make it about an inch wide, around the entire head. You want to make it uniform so your fade will stay uniform. And as you can see, I'm not really trying to make it blunt when I'm at the top. I'm trying to peel the clipper out a little bit just to make sure I don't make too hard of a line and I can easily fade it out. And you can see right now the different layers of the haircut. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing is fading out that bottom line. And so I'm just going to go down little by little on my clippers. See, I just adjusted it. Now I'm going to about halfway with no guard on an open lever. So now I'm just going a little bit lower, just trying to work that bottom line out and make sure that I can fade the open lever into the bald. So I'm just working on that right now. And now it's fully closed, and I'm just really getting the details in here just to make sure, like I said, that it fades into that bald line, just to make it for a nice crispy fade. Now what I'm doing is I have a number 1 guard, and I have it with a fully open lever, and I'm going about an inch just to make my next guideline. Now I have the half guard on, and I have that with a fully open lever going right below what I did with the number 1 guard with an open lever. And now what I'm going to do is just keep fading out this line till this part blends into the open lever with no guard. Now I'm closing it about halfway and just still working on getting rid of that line. Now I'm going to fully closed and just continuing what I've been doing. Just keep fading. Sometimes this will be the last step between the number 1 guard and the open lever. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on whose hair you're cutting. And a lot of times you'll have to go into more detailed work even after you do all these steps, just to ensure that your client has the best haircut that you can give them. And so now I just have the clipper with the open lever, no guard, and I'm just blending that in right now. So like I said, it doesn't always work with just your first try. A lot of times you'll have to go in and do more detailed work just to make that fade really show. And so really I'm just looking for dark spots in the cut and just trying to clean those up so you don't see any lines of demarcation left over when you're done with the haircut. Now what I'm doing, I have the number 1 guard on the clipper with a closed lever, and I'm going with the grain to knock out bulk. And now I've gone to the half guard to do the same, just to continue to fade it in. And as you can see, the fade is really starting to show. We got a nice bald fade going on. And I'm just still doing some cleanup work. Like I said, a lot of hair cutting is cleaning up. Okay, now I'm going to work on the mustache and the goatee area. And I would always recommend doing the outsides first, just to make sure you have enough space to work with. So I'm doing his mustache first. And he just keeps a mustache, not an actual goatee. So I do the mustache. I do the outline of the beard first, like I said, just to make sure it has the right placement. Now I'm just cleaning everything up. Okay, now I'm going in with the straight razor and just cleaning everything up. Like I said, make sure you get those details nice, because this is what sets a haircut apart, is doing all these extra things to make sure that your client is extra clean and looking the best that they can. Make sure that you stretch the skin, get that razor in there, that way you make sure that you don't cut your client. And depending on how you like to do it, you can do a dry shave or you can put a shave gel on there. It just depends on what works for you and what works for your client. Now I'm doing detail work. I have the half guard on with the open lever. Like I said, going with the grain, just making sure to knock down that bulk so we can see this fade really show. Okay, now I'm doing the lineup, and I will usually start in the middle and then work my way to each edge just to ensure that the lineup is nice and crisp. Sometimes you can start, if a client has a bad hairline, start on the bad side and then work towards the good side just to make sure you don't go too far back on the good side first and end up messing up the hairline and pushing it back. And make sure to keep combing the hairs down, that way you can get everything out of there and make it extra crisp and detailed. I'm using a hot towel to help lay all the hair down and just to see what it would look like for the client after they take a shower. So there will be hairs going into the hairline, and this is just to get all of them and just to make sure they have no problems after their cut is done. So like I said, I'm going back over the hairline. You might not be able to see it in this video. What I'm getting is those stray hairs that are going down now that I've put a hot towel on TJ's head. And if you can see, I don't have the steadiest hands, so I'm using my fingers to balance the clipper on his head. Now I'm doing straight razor detailing, and as you can see, I'm stretching his skin and doing light motions. This is just to get the ash off and to help his haircut and line last longer, and then just to have the crispiest line. I'd recommend that all barbers do this. It'll make your clients happier, it will make your cut stand out, and just remember, each haircut that you do should be your best because it is a billboard for your business, and you shouldn't shortcut any steps or any haircuts. I'm going with the grain with an open lever on the clipper, What I'm doing is knocking off those hairs that are flyaways. They're just standing up. Like I said, you might not be able to see them in the video, but they're there. And all these things are just for the details of the haircut, just to make it stand apart, just to know that I put in all the effort, and just to make sure that my client is happy with everything that I have given to them during the service. And this is your final result, a bald fade with a number 1 with the grain. If you have any more questions or suggestions or anything you guys would like to see on video, just please let me know. My hope is to inspire and to teach people to cut hair and just to give the best haircuts that we can do. Alright, thanks for watching.